In May 1989, a man named Pan Hongzhong from Guangdong province took a series of pictures of the giant Buddha, Mount Lingyun and Mount Wuyou across the river. When he laid them out together, he was astonished to find that the adjacent mountains form the shape of a slumbering Buddha. This discovery echoed the pictures taken a century earlier by English plant collector E.H. Wilson, which gave rise to the mystery of the slumbering Buddha in the first place. The legend of the slumbering Buddha sparked a debate on the unknown giant architecture that might exist alongside the Leshan giant Buddha.
一般说来，不管敦煌也好，云冈也好，龙门也好，它一个石窟能够开凿的地方啊，它不会是孤零零的一座府。那么乐山大佛这个景区也不例外。乐山大佛一直就是这样吗？这个形象。
The pictures of Buddha over the past century show that despite variations in appearance, the solemn image of the Buddha has remained unchanged. Is there an architectural structure that used to be connected to it? What catastrophes has the image of Buddha endured over the past few hundreds of years? And how has it managed to remain protected all these years? Such questions have perplexed many for years.
乐山大佛最大的破坏就是宋元之战。南宋末年，南宋的军队和元蒙的军队在这里开展了20多年的战斗。这20多年的战斗对乐山大佛的损害影响极大，这是第一次大的灾难。到了民国时候，军阀混战，大佛也不受重视，曾经还遭受过炮击。现在看到的乐山大佛，它不是原来的形象了，只是因为它体量身胚，加上它的整个气韵，还保留着盛唐的那种风韵，但是细部的艺术手法和它的艺术的细雕，它的雕刻艺术和彩绘艺术已经不存在了。
To address some important questions, the research team will conduct a more in-depth exploration of the Buddha by employing traditional techniques and modern methods that utilize the latest technology. Before the exploration can commence, the most important work is to clear away the weeds on the surface of the Buddha. This is dangerous and requires immense patience. The research team and maintenance crew use the most adept and experienced crew for the job. They need to clean the surface of the Buddha to make it look its best, while not harming it. This is a difficult task, so it's only done once a year. The preparation work is a success. The group gets ready to take 3D aerial photographs of the Buddha.
我们要通过一个3维立体的扫描，把两个侧面的这个所有的这个壁龛洞全部扫描清楚，然后通过科学的分析，比如说我们是不是能对起来，或者是这个是不是在同一个水平线上呢？这种从古建学上来进行一个初步的一个推断，希望能够达成。这也是第一次，我们也是第一次做这个事情，也从来没有人做过这个事情。
3D digital technology is being applied more and more in today's archaeological explorations, especially for grotto research. With 3D scanning and aerial photography, more detailed drafts and photos of relics and sculptures form a more complete view, generate some unusual image effects, and provide clues for further exploration. More importantly, the The Lushan Giant Buddha is a World Heritage Site, and so destructive exploration methods are forbidden. 3D analysis thus seems the least intrusive way to get the information they need. The researchers analyzed the collected data. The 3D pictures expose some hidden details of the sculpture. Some holes catch the attention of the researchers. Where did they come from? And what do they have to do with the protection of the Buddha? Exploration of the Buddha was once carried out in 1962. Organized by the local government, it was the first large-scale restoration after the founding of the People's Republic of China. When repairing its chest section, workers found a sealed hole. This was the legendary treasure cave.
这庄重呢是这个佛教的传统嘛，都是装了有经书啊、五谷杂粮这些嘛。
The discovery of this treasure cave once again inspired people's imagination about the legends of the Buddha treasure. When the sealed gate was opened, there was a man-made chamber. But disappointingly, only iron fragments and lead sheaths were found scattered inside it. The only thing that could be counted as valuable was the stone gate, which was identified as a broken tablet of the Tianning Pavilion, which was rebuilt during the Song Dynasty. This reinforced the idea that around the Buddha there definitely used to be construction of some sort. It seemed that it was the Buddha Pavilion, once mentioned by Wei Gao in one of his articles. Who was Wei Gao, and when did this pavilion supposedly exist? In 785, Wei Gao traveled to Sichuan to replace Jiang Chu Jiang Chong as military governor. He was an upstanding individual with an outstanding record of achievements. He's still revered by the local people even today.
韦刚个人也是信仰佛教的，并且他有很多朋友啊，就是佛教徒。他来看他的大佛已经到这个膝盖了。
Wei showed greater enthusiasm for the construction of Buddha statues than his predecessor. He spent 15 years supervising the construction of the lotus seat and the knee section, as well as the coloring project and building the Buddha Pavilion.
范成大的吴传禄，他在当四川最高领导人的时候，他曾经到这个地方来过。他当时看到就是围楼13层。 连楼阁的层数，它都准确的记录下来了。那这个材料能够证明，它从当时一直到宋代，这个楼阁都存在的。
If the pavilion really existed as an architectural edifice as large as the Buddha, what would it have looked like? Was it appropriate to build a pavilion to cover a Buddha that was intended for worship? How many times was it rebuilt? The research team is attempting to answer these questions.
如果说是有大相阁存在的话，因为大相阁在这个苏丹战争毁灭以后，它可能整个建筑就会倾塌，倾塌以后，它可能本身那个大相阁上面的这些瓦啦，或者大相阁里面的有一些陶片了、瓷片了，这些都会遗存下来。我们现在唯一的推测就是它两侧的这种排水道上极有可能存在这些东西。
手好的抽，你们保养员守在背后啊，然后要3人脚啊，这边踩了。好，我给你摆一摆，也让踩了。
The team plans to explore the interior part of the Buddha, as was done back in 1962. This is a special mission to explore the protection system of the giant Buddha.
大佛它要解决很多科学技术的问题，比如说排水的问题啊，它怎么解决排水的问题啊？除了修这个大象阁以外，它的背后，对不对？景行的背后，熊的背后，开凿了这个2通排水的廊道，还有1通还没有开通。那么从这些它的技术设计来说，就反映了它爆发的科学性。
The research team enters the dark cavern at the back of the Buddha's head in the hopes of making some new discoveries. Eroded by centuries of dripping water, stalactites have formed. This is part of the protection system of the Buddha, enabling it to endure erosion caused by the elements. After days of rain, the weather finally clears. The water level lowers, and a sandbar appears opposite the Buddha. It's a perfect place to survey the Buddha. The research group wastes no time in sailing to the sandbar. They also begin to take aerial photos. This time, they focused on the statue's body and the bas reliefs around it. A question arises. During the Tang Dynasty, Taoism was the national religion. So, why were so many Buddhist sculptures built during that period? Were they constructed purely out of religious reverence? The research team conducts analysis on the 3D pictures and data, trying to restore the Buddha statue and the disappearing surrounding architecture through the use of virtual digital technology. Based on their analysis, they decide to explore the ceremonial platform at the foot of the Buddha.
因为它是木结构建筑嘛，经常会被毁掉。那么后来应该是有多次的重修，但是现在都不清楚，只是在它周边渗了一些那个钻孔。那么就是哪些钻孔跟大象阁有关，哪些是它开造这个大佛的时候搭建的通道的一些遗迹，我们这个需要通过这个调查来搞清楚。
Following the clues, the research team descends to the holes at the foot of the Buddha. They intend to excavate the remains of the Buddha pavilion. Jiang Chu, Jiang Chong, and Wei Gao were not only the builders of the giant Buddha, but also the governors of Sichuan. They often waged wars with the Tibetan Empire to the west and the Nanjiao state to the south. What, if anything, did this have to do with the construction of the Buddha? While excavating, some architectural fragments are discovered at the base of the Buddha.
这是这一块比较典型的一个柱洞，这一个柱洞能够代表着上下这2层的一个最典型的一个堆积。它上面这一层呢，大概能分3层，上面这一层就是近现代的这个堆积，然后底下这2层呢，特别是最底下的这一层的堆积呢，我们能够看到的判断的年代大概是在宋代。
The team clears a total of 49 pile holes at the base of the Buddha and surrounding area. The layer of earth here was added over successive generations. Among the excavated items are glazed tiles and shards, which are linked with the Ming Dynasty. It suggests that the Buddha Pavilion was destroyed during the Ming Dynasty. This is a significant breakthrough. The experts have procured a bounty of evidence, which for the first time revealed that an architectural structure had once surrounded the giant Buddha.
这个的话，对我们研究当时大佛阁的始建年代、维修年代、重建年代、毁弃的年代非常非常重要。我想，这个是我们保守一点说，至少是找到了我们复原这个大佛阁的一个突破口。
With the combined efforts of people from all walks of life over nearly a century, the statue was finally completed. Around 71 meters high, it wore a mysterious and benevolent smile as it looked out onto the world. The entire construction period, deducting time for fundraising, suspension due to turmoil, lasted over 3 decades. The local government supervised the construction for 22 years, during which almost 3/4 of the Buddha carving was completed. After the statue was finished, Wei Gao wrote an article recording the construction process. The scene at the time was rendered clearly in his writing. The first issue they had to contend with was location. The Buddha was on the shady side of Mount Lingyun, an area of dense foliage and stable geological conditions. It was also on the bend of the river, hidden amongst the mountains. The drainage holes at the back of the ears, head, waist, and arms could carry away any running water, preventing erosion. The Buddha Pavilion, which was built after, could cover the whole statue. Such a protective system would diminish the erosive effects of the elements. This is why, despite its age, the Lushan giant Buddha has managed to weather the sands of time. The application of 3D technology in archaeology is able to provide a complete picture of the Lushan giant Buddha and its surroundings. For the very first time, it's possible to see the overall digitally rendered scene. Apart from the statue, there are also a variety of Buddhist sculptures, cliff tombs, and ancient cities in the surrounding area. These form a considerable backdrop for the massive statue. The Lushan giant Buddha is a miracle of hard work. It is 20 meters higher than the Buddhas at Bamiyan. Its knots of hair could seat more than 10 people. 2 people could stand side by side inside its ears. Its feet are about 33 meters apart, and its instep could accommodate a medium-sized truck. The entirety of the statue can only be seen from the river. The Lushan giant Buddha is 50 meters higher than the Great Sphinx of Giza, 33 meters higher than the Statue of Christ in Brazil, and 50 meters higher than Mount Rushmore in the United States. It really embodies the phrase, "The mountain is Buddha, and Buddha is the mountain." The Yungang and Longmen grottos are the pearls of Buddhist culture on the central plains of China. They're also large in size, suggesting the importance of Buddhism in China at the time. The Lushan giant Buddha appeared in distant Sichuan province. The size and number of Buddhist scriptures even surpassed those found on the Central Plains. How did this come about? Is it reasonable to think that the imperial government was behind all these large-scale construction projects? The creation of the statue was not just to promote Buddhism, but was aimed at demonstrating cultural and national strength. The aim could well have been to display the cultural and political power of the Tang dynasty to neighboring kingdoms and exert control and influence over them. Because of the political turbulence following the An Lushan rebellion, the amount of stone carving on the Central Plains began to decrease. The construction of large Buddhist sculptures flourished, though, in the relatively stable region of Sichuan. From that period onwards, up to the Song dynasty, several large-scale projects were built in succession. This helped put Buddhism on the map in southwest China. Plus, it created a Buddhist cultural area to rival those found in Yunnan and Longmen. It also went a long way in helping the integration and exchange between the different ethnic groups of the region and exerted a positive influence on the Chinese political landscape. A corollary effect of the statues and Buddhist culture was an increase in the tolerance and harmony of the Chinese people.
我认为乐山大佛应该是大唐文明的一个重要成就，并且我觉得它是大唐文明的一个，特别是开元天宝盛世的一个重要的物证。它能够修成，倒是证明了唐朝的辉煌伟大。
Is this connection between the Tang dynasty and the Lushan giant Buddha supported by concrete archaeological evidence? At the Lingbao Pagoda, near the Lushan giant Buddha, it's said that there's an underground palace in which Buddhist relics and treasures are hidden. Is it possible the unraveling of the mysteries of the giant Buddha have only just begun? Maybe the moment the gate of the underground palace flings open, the answer will be revealed for all to know.